Hello and welcome back to the FPL Tom YouTube channel ahead of the second final deadline stream we are going to be doing this season for Game Week 7. Of course, it's a very topical game week. There's a lot of big decisions riding on the line. Of course, captaincy, we're going to be talking about that. Which players do you bring in? Maybe you have a little bit of fun, maybe some short-sighted punts, or maybe you're going for the more established picks, which are obviously being very popular in the community. There's going to be a big split this week. I think this could potentially be one of those weeks as well, where we actually have all of the players under 100% effective ownership. It potentially could be that way, but we're here for it. We'll try and answer as many questions as we possibly can within today's stream. Help you guys out as best as possible. As I'm just wiping some crumbs off me on my thing. But yeah, we'll try and help you out. We'll be doing team reviews a little bit later on as well. We'll be going through my team, my transfer plans for the remaining 2 game weeks of the season. Of course, we've got the betting data as well to try and help you guys out, and a poll going around in the chat as well. So if you want to get your votes in for that one, we've got Watkins, Palmer, Salah. And if you are going someone else, let me know in the comment section which way you are potentially swinging with your captaincy for this game week. And like I said, if it is other, then just comment who that other person is going to be this game week. Taking a look in the chat, we've got Jessica, one of our channel members and moderators. Thank you for coming along nice and early. Abby Johnson's in here as well. She says, I'm on Mbuemo captain, but if I bring in Watkins, I'll captain him as well. Yeah, I think a lot of people are, of course, going to be looking at Brian Mbuemo this week. I think a very popular option that could do very well, to be honest. I think people are obviously undervaluing him. He's been very good in the past few weeks. Obviously a 90-minute man, penalty taker, all the stuff that goes with him. Brian is definitely a player I would be considering as well for the armband for this game week. Someone's already have triple Villa, so would you do Rashford to Asensio and ignore Watkins or Mateta? To Watkins and Rashford to Bowen for a -4, then bench Eze. Thoughts? 9k overall. Well, first of all, congratulations on having a pretty decent season. In terms of it, I think you could either do the Rashford to Asensio one, or I think if you would do the Watkins to Mateta one. But if it does require a -4, I guess it does put you in a difficult position. But if you can just do the Watkins to Mateta, that is probably the move that I would do. Wayne has said Saliba or Livramento sub in if Munoz misses out. Go Saliba. They're the home team, so probably a bit better in terms of the betting data for this week. Hi all. Sarr to Rodgers or Asensio for a -4. I prefer to go probably Rodgers on that one. Morning mate, Salah to Palmer. I am thinking about it myself, but obviously Palmer is going to be playing in a little bit more of an unconventional position. But yeah, it's one of those. It is a little bit dicey. Oh, camera, can you focus back in? There you go. Coin toss if you want. If you want a coin toss, mate, we can do one of the earliest coin tosses I think we've ever had on this channel for you. Let's give it a good go. So we'll do... Who was it? Saliba can be heads. The other one can be tails, all right? Let's do it. There you go. It is heads. It is heads. Of course, for the final game week of the season, we have purchased ourselves a little cheeky costume that will be very relevant if you've watched any of the deadline streams this season. So, hey, we're going to be there for it. We're going to be there for it. Yeah, Saliba and Raya have been really disappointing, and I've owned both, which is great. There was the double game week where I went triple Arsenal defence. Worked for one of the games, just didn't quite work for the other ones. In terms of my team then this week, let's bring it up for you. I have made my transfer already. I made it this morning. I bought in Ollie Watkins after the Postecoglou comments. I was like, yeah, this is just the correct move to be playing for, isn't it, really? So we brought in Watkins for this week. We've given him the armband as well. He is going to be our captain heading into tonight's game against Tottenham. Like I said, those Postecoglou comments have just really sold it for me as a decision and kind of made it a little bit of a no-brainer, to be honest. It's just a very easy decision for me personally. I don't think there's any point kind of looking at any of one else really in terms of my transfers. I could potentially take a -4 and we could go and take Salah out for Palmer, but again, I'm not feeling overall great about that move. So I think the play for this game week is just going to be we bring in Watkins. That's it. I think that's probably the way that we're going to go with it. Brian with the Vice. Maybe we'll give it a coin toss, see which way we potentially go with our captain for this week. But we've gone with Watkins. I think he's probably going to have the highest effective ownership. And I think with the position that we're in and where I would actually like to achieve this season, a top 10k finish, I think it is just a sensible play heading into this final week. Rodgers or Asensio? I'm in a semi-final in my mini league. I think I'd still go Rodgers. I think I'd still go Rodgers on that one. Tom, I've got a huge dilemma. I have triple Villa already, so I can't get Watkins this week. Who should I captain between Haaland and Buemo? I would go Brian and Buemo. Marmoush to Watkins, the transfer then? Yes, I think it will. I think it will. Can I have a coin toss on Mbeumo or Watkins captaincy? We will build that up because that is probably the big decision for me as well. So we'll build that one up a little bit. We'll do it a little bit later in the stream. Which way do we potentially go on that one? Do we go for Mbeumo or do we go for Watkins? We'll leave that one for a little bit and get that building up. Don't tell Jamie you're going for Palmer. He'll go mental. I know Jamie will absolutely kill me if I tell him I'm thinking that. I'm chasing 39 points. What can I even do? You can potentially look at a differential captain this week. I think this is probably a week where it's very, very split. Very split indeed. Many big guns fail in game weeks 36, so no more hits. The season is already over for people below 1 million. I mean, it's probably over if you like 200,000, isn't it? Realistically, it is, unless you're playing for like mini leagues and stuff. Your season is done. But I mean, it's still one of those where you can play, you can enjoy it. If you're that far back, I think at this point, I wouldn't even be looking for like my advice. I'd just be like winging it, going off your own kind of instinct and just enjoying it a little bit. Go for somebody like a Vardy this week, captain him, have a little bit of fun and make a memory out of the game for a pretty disappointing season. Sort of Rodgers for a -4. I don't think I'd do that. No. Bowen is the worst bench troll ever. I don't even bench Bowen. Bowen is just too good. The guy's been absolutely great in recent weeks, hasn't he? And we all know I have a massive soft spot for Jared Bowen. So, yeah, it's worked out wonders for me. Has worked out wonders. Who's captain between Haaland and Mbeumo? I would probably go for Brian and Mbeumo. I think with the City fixture being on the post-FA Cup, I think one or two things could happen. They could win that game and maybe it goes extra time, maybe it goes penalties, and there might be a bit of rotation within it. So I don't think I would look at anybody in terms of their side for captaincy this week, in my personal opinion. I think I probably would just stay away from them, go with Brian. Chasing rank to start Raya and Saliba or Verbergen and Isak. I mean, if you chase him rank, go Verbergen and Isak. I do have a massive hard spot for Bowen as well. It throbs for him. Let's put it that way. I would love to get a Jared Bowen match worn signed shirt. That would be the dream. I've got like a little collection building now in my cupboard. And I think a Jared Bowen one would be one that I really want. I've been looking at a Brian and Mbeumo one for this season because how good he's been, and a Vissa one, but they're a little bit pricey, so we have to kind of find them at the right point. But yeah, definitely Jared Bowen's another one that I think would look very, very good on the wall. Yep, very good advice there as well from Jessica. Don't forget to like the stream. It is massively appreciated. It does push it out to more people, and that is exactly what we want to see with today's stream. Konate or Kivior, who to bench? Ooh, good question. I would probably steer away from Liverpool. I'd be tempted to play Kivior. Mateta to Evan Nielsen in game week 38. I think that's probably going to be my transfer, you know. I'm not too keen on Saka. I maybe have to do it because of effective ownership route. But at the same time, I would probably, just go for Mateta to Evan Nielsen. I think that could be the play. And one of the big things that came out of yesterday's Q&A with me and Tom was neither of us are keen on defensive transfers this week. So maybe if your defense is looking a little bit ropey, I just wouldn't bother touching it. It's such a low upside, especially with only 2 game weeks to go. Just whack yourself in an attacker instead. They're the ways to go. I have no idea what to do this week. Going to need some advice on my team reviews and might need a coin decision. The coin is always here, Abby. It is always here. Brentford fan confirmed. Like I said, Brentford are my second favourite team, probably in England. So yeah, we'll definitely have to look to go to a game at some point there. And then obviously, I don't know how we'd title it. Maybe like I watch the smartest club in England or something like that. I don't know. Let me know. How would I title that video? Potentially the second channel, but it's an interesting one. Going in Vardy because nobody in my mini league can catch me in game week 38. Very nice. Enjoy it. Hopefully it works out wonders for you. Start free, Kivior, Timber, Kirkez, Mazwari, Van Heck. Wouldn't go near Mazwari. I would be tempted to play Van Heck because you feel if Brighton maybe keep a clean sheet there, they might get some bonus. So he could be one. Then I probably would go Kivior, Kirkez would be the other two. What is better, doing Isak to Watkins, then Rodgers to Saka next week, or Marmoush to Watkins and get Saliba for Southampton at home? I just don't think there's too much upside in the defender pick there, so I probably would go with the first one in my opinion. Bench 2, Konza, Saliba, Virgil, Gvardiol, Nico Williams. Probably bench Virg van Dijk, and then I'd be tempted to either bench Nico Williams or Saliba out of the rest of them. Is 33 points a good lead in my mini league? Yes, that is a pretty decent league. It's going to take quite a bit for them to catch you up. Probably a rogue captain or something like that. Exactly, this is what I mean, Abby. Abby got 32 points from her defence that she hated. It's just that point in the season where it's just not worth the transfers at all. So don't even bother looking at it. Just whack out whoever you've got available, really. We watched England's Moneyball Club. That's not a bad idea, that. That's not a bad idea for a title, is it? I like that. Fair play, Jessica. That is a good shout. Yeah, 100%. 100% the whole team are on the bench. Considering Palmer, a little bit. A little bit I'm considering Palmer. We might swap him out for Salah, but I think with me going with the Watkins captain, I'm a little bit less tempted. And when I saw the betting data came out today, I wasn't overly convinced either. So that's why we've gone with Watkins. But maybe one to potentially think. First in my school mini league, winning by 100 points, 14k rank. Very nice, mate. Very nice indeed. Game week 38, Trippier to... I still have a bench boost. Okay, probably maybe... If you've got another room for an Arsenal defender, potentially one of those. Whoever Leicester and Ipswich have got potentially could be worth a gamble as well. Yeah. I can't read that one out, but yeah, they are all in Ocean Beach with Wayne, aren't they, really? What if Eze hauls again against Wolves? He's been painful. This is the thing, right, with Eze and any Palace players this week, and why I'm a little bit hesitant on playing them or bringing them in. Obviously, I did consider Eze at one point, considering how good he's been. But the reason that I would stay away from Palace players this week, they've got that FA Cup final. If they win that, they are going out on the piss. This would be Crystal Palace's first major competitive trophy that they've ever won in their history, right? You've also got to think some of these players probably never won a major competition either. You look through most of that squad, that is the case. They are going to be on the piss. That Premier League game against Wolves is the bottom of their priority list. If they win, they're probably on the piss. If they lose, they're probably quite deflated and thinking, what's the point? Our season is done at this point, basically. So that's my kind of where I'm at with the Palace players for this week. I don't think they're going to do as well as some people are potentially suggesting this week. Would you TC Vardy on this game week? Why not? Why not? He's in the hunt for the 200th goal, isn't he? And I definitely could see him surpassing it, getting a few this week. The only problem that you might have with Vardy is I do feel if he gets that 200th goal, might pick himself up a booking, might potentially come off early as well, like 70, 80th, to get clapped off by the fans as well. Haaland to Watkins and Semenyo or Eze to Palmer for a -4, or Isak to Watkins and keep Eze and Haaland. I'd be tempted to do just the first move. I don't think the -4 is necessarily that appealing to me, to be honest. So yeah, I probably would just do the first move. I would probably go Kirk, as you know. City come a little bit unstuck against Bournemouth earlier in the season. Bench boost active, Marmoush and Trippier to Saka, either Woods or Cunha. I would probably maybe go Cunha, like I said, basically based off those Palace players maybe being a little bit on the piss. That could be an area that could be exploited this game week, in my personal opinion. Bench 2, Gvardiol, Munoz, Saliba, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Konate. I would probably go Konate and Saliba. Would you go Isak to Watkins in one, or Saar and Mateta to Souček, Enzo and Watkins? If that's for a free, I would be tempted with Enzo and Watkins, yeah. If it's not for a free, I would just do the Isak to Watkins one. Best TC option, we can take a look at the fixtures, give you my honest feedback on those. Let's take a look at those. Have a look. I mean, Watkins could be a decent shout for tonight. Spurs are going to be heavily rotating, so you could obviously go for it that way. Obviously, Jamie Vardy, I mean, Brian Mbeumo definitely puts himself into the considerations as always. You probably got to maybe look at somebody like a Jared Bowen. I know he's been scoring quite well in recent weeks. Nothing kind of major, but still definitely worth a potential shout. In terms of 38, you've got yourself Bournemouth versus Leicester. So maybe somebody like, I don't know, a Semenyo. Seems a bit rogue, but could be one of those. Ipswich against Fulham. Obviously, Bowen enters the conversation yet again. What other fixtures have we got here? Arsenal, Saka in game week 38. Could be a decent shout as well. So yeah, there you're probably... your picks heading for triple captaincy for this week. That's probably where my head would be at with that. Eight Nuri or Bradley to start. I probably would go with 8 Nuri. Yeah, I know. It is ridiculous, isn't it? It completely changes a lot of the narratives, doesn't it? So yeah, it is a little bit annoying. Hey mate, Evan Nielsen or Marmoush to start. I would go... I think Marmoush will be definitely back in the side. He looked good in the final few minutes. It's whether or not he plays within the FA Cup, isn't it? So it's, yeah, not great. Early kickoff curse. I don't think it quite works on a Friday. It's usually just the Saturday ones, isn't it, really? I've got Pickford, Alcaraz against his whole club, and McNeil triple captain for the last game at Goodison. Very valid point. Obviously, it is the final game at Goodison as well. They could absolutely go and smash it. Start Marmoush or Saar. Probably go Saar. Play one of Wood or Diaz, or -4 for Saka. I'd be tempted with Chris Wood. There's still a lot on the line for Forest. West Ham haven't been great defensively this season. I'm actually considering maybe playing Areola this week. I think that potentially could be a coin flip decision we go for as well. Raya or Areola. We let the coin decide which way we go with that. Valid, but is he going to be back in the side for the FA Cup, or will he be then rested on Tuesday again? It's just such a tricky one with those City players. How do you call it, really? How do you call it? Do keep your questions coming in, guys. Any that you want answering, let me know in the comments section. Of course, make sure you are liking today's stream. It does push it out to more people, and that is exactly what we want to see with it. 26 likes already. We've got 90 people sat in here, so if everybody could like it, get this stream to 50, that would be massively appreciated by myself. In terms of the poll early doors, what are we talking here? Watkins at 60. Palmer at 10, 13% Salah, and 17% other, which few people have said, obviously, Brian and Mbeumo and stuff like that. You think a -4 next week to bring in Semenyo and Saka is worth it? Maybe. There's always some rogue scores. But yeah, I feel like we're at the point where maybe -4s aren't going to be worth it. But hey-ho, each their own. I have Visser, Cunha and Wood. Whom can I sell for Watkins? That is a tough lineup to pick from. I've seen some Wolves fans debating around Cunha's minutes, so maybe he's the one that you sell. Maybe he could be the one that you get rid of. Yeah, I know. City players are a pain in the arse, really, aren't they? How are you feeling about a Pedro punt versus United? Not for me. I don't think I'm going to go near any Chelsea players for this game week. I've made my transfer. I've brought in Watkins. Yeah, I just don't think I'm going to go for it. We could be very, very tempted with the Palmer pick, but I don't know. It's one of those. Maybe a late decision on Cole Palmer. Maybe it's a Salah or a KDB out for Cole Palmer. I don't know. Let me know in the chat which way you're maybe thinking on that. Is it going to be worth a -4? I personally think probably not. Let me have a look at the team. Yeah, I guess you probably just want to maybe make one of those strikers Watkins, and I think you're pretty set, aren't you? Oh, okay. My computer doesn't want to work for some reason. Not my actual computer that we're streaming on, my laptop that I watch the streams back on, just to make sure you guys are behaving yourselves and stuff like that. I will survive. Do 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 do. Hello, Tom. Wan-Bissaka or Nico Williams? I think West Ham and Nico and Wan-Bissaka have been in really good form, so I'd be tempted to go with that route. Bench Digne or Munoz? Good question. I would probably bench. Who would I bench? I'd probably bench Digne. I think I'd still play Munoz, you know. I think I still would play Munoz. Can Spurs be a surprise? I keep Isak. Spurs could be a surprise, but after the Postecoglou comments today, I really think it's going to be probably one of those where Rodgers, Watkins, they do the business against them today. I'm very, very tempted to play Konza as well. But I think my defence is looking pretty steady, so I'm probably just going to leave it. But yeah, I think Villa could do very, very well today, to be honest, against Spurs, especially if they're rested. I think it's since the past 20 games, it's like they've only won against Leicester, Southampton and Ipswich. That's the only games that they've won in recent weeks. Let me bring the Spurs fixtures up. What have they been doing in recent weeks? Where's a Spurs player? Porro. Right, these are the Spurs results here. Look at this absolute shambles that they're in at the moment. So a win against Southampton, a win against Ipswich, Manchester United and Brentford was their best run here. But what week's that? Game week 24? As you can see, though, they are just abysmal. Absolutely abysmal. What did they do against Villa earlier in the season? It was a win. It was a 4-1 win. Okay, Villa will definitely be looking to get some revenge on that one. But as you can see, since obviously game week 27, one win, and that was against Southampton. They've lost to Fulham. They've lost to Wolves, Forest, battered by Liverpool, lost to Palace where they were really, really bad as well. Yeah, they're a shocking side. They are really, really bad. And they're down there for XG conceded, so yeah. We're going to go with it. Hey Tom, bench and dilemma. I have Rodgers, Bowen, Schade, De Bruyne and Mbeumo in midfield. Haaland, Visser and Watkins up front. Who do I bench? Bowen. I'd be tempted to maybe put KDB on the bench. Obviously, post FA Cup, he might potentially not feature in that game. So, yeah, I think I probably would go with that route rather than benching Bowen, who's been in very, very fine form. 3-4, 3-6 rank, very nice. Already have 3 Villa, but want Watkins. Do I sell Haaland, Sarr and Rodgers for a Watkins, Palmer, Saka -8? It's a big one, but it would give you the best captain for the next 2 game weeks, in my personal opinion. So it could pay off, but it is a very, very big gamble with it being a -8. But I do like it. I do like it. Could work out. Which one should I transfer out of Watkins, Isak and Marmoush? I would be tempted with either I probably would go Marmoush. I probably would. Murphy to De Bruyne for a -4. I wouldn't touch any City players this week. I wouldn't personally bring any of them in. I would go Munoz. But if you want to play Digne, I fully understand it. No worries, mate. Anytime. Free transfers, Isak to Watkins and Marmoush to Vardy and KDB to Palmer. Those are some very, very succulent moves. I like all of them that you've suggested there. I like that. I do like that. Hi, Tom. I'm on a bench boost and need to know if O'Brien will start. Any news? We'll check the predicted lineups in a little while. And we'll check, obviously, the press conference comments as well to see if that is the case. Is Vardy a good captain? I like Vardy as an option. I don't think he's captaincy material because I definitely think he'll pick up a yellow card. And I think as well he'll probably go off maybe a little bit earlier just to receive like a clap from all the fans and stuff like that. And Mbeumo all the way, minimum bracing. I mean, yeah, I think Brian could be an asset that pops off this week. Really could do some absolute bits. I'm thinking maybe we do take KDB out. And maybe we do look at Palmer. I am tempted by it, you know. I am tempted by it. It would be a -4. Can I actually do that before we obviously start contemplating it? Have I got enough money to do that? I don't know if I have. We've got a mil. Oh, we're 0.1 mil off that. You bastard. That is a bitch, that one. That could have been a hefty move, that. That could have really been a hefty move. But yeah, Palmer has been pretty poor recently, so the only way that I could get to him would be to sell Mohamed Salah, which is a little bit of a pain. And I don't think that is what we're going to do. So yeah. Did Isaac for Wissa for a -4. I hope I don't regret it. Could be an interesting one. Should I be trusting Digne for a start and bench Konza? We might get team news on that game. Obviously, it being the early kickoff, we might get some sort of leak. So maybe just wait. Alanga to Neto. Again, I don't think Neto's worth it. I don't think he's going to be worth it. So I probably wouldn't, in my personal opinion. Raya or Areola? I have Areola as the starter and Raya on the bench. I think the clean sheet data will probably lean towards Raya. The predicted points will probably lean towards Raya as well. But if you've got that gut instinct that Areola is going to be the better pick, go for it. Yeah, I would have had enough if I moved earlier this week, but I was still umming and ahhing what to do, to be honest. But I never like to make early transfers. There might be some Villa accounts. There's quite a few Villa accounts that are floating about that might get the early team news. Do I plan on getting Saka? I'm thinking about it. Obviously, we'll go Salah for Saka, potentially. But at the same time, Tom made a great point in the Q&A we did last night. He's only scored 6 goals this season. Is that somebody I want to be giving the armband to? I don't know. I would definitely play Martinez ahead of Raya if I had him this week. If you don't have Palmer or Watkins this week, I probably would say Brian Mbeumo is going to be my top pick. Yes, we'll be doing team reviews a little bit later on in today's stream. Of course, if you do want to go over to my Twitter, drop me a follow and leave it under one of my most recent tweets. We'll probably do those around about 3 o'clock. So, yeah, we'll do those. Hi, Tom. Would you play Keane if you had him? I'd take the gamble. Yeah. Cunha to Beto for a -4 hit. No, I don't think I'd do that. Thoughts on Sharda, captain against the shaky Fulham? I think unless you're miles back and you're looking for a bit of fun, go for it. Otherwise, nah. 0.1, the usual killer. Literally. Need a cheap enabler to fund Mateta to Watkins. Who would you get out of Sharda and Enzo? I think both are great options. I think Sharda's just in that purple patch at the moment. So I probably would lean more towards him. Yeah, I think that's bench boostable. Should I sell Cunha to Watkins and De Bruyne for Saka for a -4? I think I would, yeah. Saka in for Son, not going for Palmer or Watkins. I think it could be big if you don't. And Watkins pops off. I think Spurs are just going to rotate very, very heavily. Yeah, Forest have been really terrible, and I think Bowen will definitely score. West Ham have looked a lot better going forward attacking-wise, so I probably would be tempted to maybe give it Greaves. Yeah, I'm pretty sure about Brian. Don't be basing like everything off me though. What I say, you've got to have your own instinct. Like I can give you my advice and what I would personally do, but at the end of the day, it is your team. You make your own decisions. Would you take out Salah? I am tempted to. I am really, really tempted to take out Mohamed Salah for this game week. Because look at what he's been doing. Like, since game week 30, like, that is not good. Like, you can definitely get away with not having him if he's producing numbers like that. Obviously, prior to that, smashing it every single week. But since game week 30, that is, you know, not great. You can definitely get away with that. Last 2 games as well, 0.4 expected goal involvement, 0.39. It's not great numbers. It really, really isn't. No worries, bro. Anytime. Cunha, Eze to Watkins, Rogers, Asensio for a -4. Have a free hit in 38. Why not? You've got that free hit to have a little bit of fun in the back pocket, so go for it. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. Any that you do have ahead of the deadline. Like I said, we are trying to hit 50 likes on today's stream as well. So, of course, if you are enjoying it, make sure you are liking the stream. It does push it out to more people, which is exactly what we want for these streams. Obviously, big plans for next season as well. We've got something ordered and ready for the final stream of the season as well. So do keep your eyes peeled for that one. But yeah, all good stuff. All good stuff. Salah's been poor and he's been chilling at some pool party. Does he know FPL is still on? Literally. Bench 1, Saliba, Williams, 8 Nuri. Already have Raya. Probably bench Saliba then. Bruno Fernandes or Isaac, which you bench? Probably Fernandes. I think maybe he plays limited minutes or doesn't start. Like I said, this game for United is not of any importance. I mean, if you want to go for Asensio, go for it. I'd actually go Aaron Wan-Bissaka on that one. Yeah, I'd go Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I think we're going to need a coin flip today, whether or not we go for this -4 move. Do we take Mohamed Salah out and do we go for the big man? Oof. It's a tricky one. It's a tricky one. Do we go and get Cole Palmer? What did Palmer do earlier in the season against United? Did he score? Let's have a look. By the way, Palmer's not even had like that bad a season. He's had 25 goal involvements, and people are like going on like he's the worst player in the world. Like, I know he's had a pretty dry patch, but still. Right, where's this United game? Just a 3-pointer, nothing, niche. Nothing exciting there. Do I think Saul will start? It depends what sort of minutes he sees. I think it's so hard to determine which City players and which Palace players are probably going to start on the Tuesday games because of that FA Cup. Players could pick up injuries and stuff like that. I could say, yes, he's going to play. Picks up a knock in that game and then all of a sudden he's out. So I think it's really difficult. He will be versing a very, very different predicted team. Let me have a quick check, see if Charlie's done the predicted lineups. If that lineup is looking atrocious, we could be tempted. We could be very, very tempted. What was I going to look at? Charlie, FPL Meerkat, see if he's done the predicted lineups. He has. What a boy. Right, let's run through these then for you guys. Arsenal's has Saka in. Timber's in. Kivior, Saliba, Raya. Villa, obviously Watkins is in. Rogers, Asensio. Bournemouth, Evan Nielsen, Kluivert, Semenyo, Kirkes, probably the top picks. Obviously Brentford, we know, Sharda and Buemo Vissa. Chelsea, they've actually got Neto up front in this prediction. That could be maybe an interesting one. Although they don't usually play good when they have like a non-out and out striker. George on the left, Palmer behind, Madueke, Enzo a little bit deeper. The Palace one, like I said, could very easily change depending on what happens in that FA Cup game. So I would take everything on the Palace ones with a little bit of a grain of salt. Everton, Beto, if you've taken that punt on him. Mikalenko, Branthwaite, Keane. No O'Brien, for someone that asked me earlier in the stream. They were on about their bench boost. Not in the predicted lineup here. Fulham, don't think anybody's got any Fulham players. Delapsin, if you've taken a 1 week punt on him. Vardy, if you've gone again for that 1 week punt. Liverpool, it does have Salah, Gakpo, Jota. No Diaz for people that are potentially worried about that one. City, I mean, it's one of those, it could very easily change. Again, dependent on FA Cup and stuff like that. This is the United one. Onana, Lindelof, Maguire, Shaw, Fernandes, Casemiro, Mazwari, Garnacho, Mount, Obi Martin. I mean, that is still quite strong for a United side with all the weakened players they've got. But that's still not a bad unit. Isak in for Newcastle. Forest, Alanga and Wood up top. That looks pretty tasty, that. And then this is the Spurs one. Danzo, Davis, Adogi, Bentancur. It's a pretty naff team, that, isn't it? Pretty naff. West Ham, obviously, Bowen and Kudus up front as well, running the show. Wolves does have Cunha in there and does have Strand Larson as well. So there you go. There's the predicted lineups for this week. KDB captaincy, I don't think is going to be worth the punt for me personally. I wouldn't go near it. I just think you don't know what's going to happen in that FA Cup game. Why bother touching it? It could go extra time and penalties. You know, City played like their full team for the 120 minutes. KDB sees 120 minutes. Then maybe starts on the bench, then comes off the bench and you've captained him. Could end in tears is all I'm going to say on that one. Beto or Watkins, if I'm chasing a Millie League, has Watkins. I mean, still, Watkins captain's probably going to be a very popular pick for this week, isn't he? In terms of the captain. So I still think I probably would have it and hope that other differentials within your team can maybe claw back that mini league a little bit. Start 2, Munoz, Gvardiol, Konza, Aina. I would probably go Gvardiol and Munoz. And if you wanted to, maybe look at Konza. I guess so, but he also impacts him. Like, Jackson holds the ball up and moves the team forward a little bit. So, yeah. Hi, mate. Would you start Cliver or Sarr? I would be tempted to go... I'd be tempted to go Cliver, you know. City post-FA Cup could be a little bit weary. Maybe Bournemouth could get the better of them again this season. I'd be tempted with that. Yeah, I think that could work out. Do keep your questions coming in, or your likes. Get your team sent to me on Twitter as well. We'll be doing those team reviews at 3 o'clock in about an hour. Helping you guys out. That's what we're here to do, isn't it? That's what we're here to do. And of course, if you do enjoy any of the content and you're new around here, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button. Massively appreciated, as always. Start Alanga or Visser? Probably Visser. I'd probably go Konza on that one. I mean, Son's not in the predicted lineups there, so yeah. There we go. Please don't spam, bro. We answered that question. Milenkovic, Saliba, or Livramento? Genuinely, that's a really tough call. I don't know who I'd probably pick out of those. Maybe Saliba? I don't know. Yeah, probably Saliba. Isak and Sarr to Palmer and Vardy. I don't hate that. Yeah, go for it. Isak or Evan Nielsen to Watkins? Isak. Evan Nielsen's got a great fixture on the final day. You'll want him back in. Yep, I'm in the exact same position. Hi Tom, sell one of Visser, Isak, Wood for Watkins probably would be Isak. Visser or Wood, I'd go Visser. Start Saw or Murphy whilst playing an Arsenal defender. Maybe take that punt on Saw, but like I said, there is going to be a big maybe swing with the FA Cup. I didn't see O'Brien in the predicted lineup, so he might be one to potentially take out, and then probably need Thingy in there as well. Watkins, and I think you'll be good to go. I would probably lean more towards Saw over Marmoush. Visser or Wood, Visser. Matoma to Asensio, don't hate it, would go for it. Are there any better captains than Watkins this week? Differentials. Palmer. Probably Palmer and Mbeumo are your other ones that you're going to look for. What do I think about Alanga? Yeah, he looks decent. I like Alanga as a pick. I don't mind Alanga as a pick. Oh. Let me know what your plans are for the weekend as well, guys. Where are you planning on watching the games? Are you going out tonight maybe to watch the games as well? I think a few people potentially might look at doing that. I'll probably just be sat at home with them on both screens. Loving my little life. Flying out to Copenhagen tomorrow for the second channel. Heading to Malmo on Sunday, so really looking forward to that. If you haven't already, go and check out the second channel as well. We did a video this week where we went and saw the best 5th tier fans in the world. They were very, very good. So yeah, it was good fun. So go and check it out. Like I said, I'm sure one of the channel moderators will definitely whack a link in at some point. I think we all have Forest to miss out on the top 5 now, Tom. Who do you think misses out with them? Good question. Let me get the Premier League table up. I think Chelsea have got fortunate with their games. I think Villa are definitely going to get in because of who they've got to play. United and Spurs. I think Villa will get in, right? So I'm looking at it, and I'm thinking, if Newcastle lose, they could be definitely within the chopping block. Because I think Chelsea and Villa win tonight. That puts them on 66. I think City's game against Bournemouth could be a tricky. So I do believe it is probably going to be either Newcastle, City or Chelsea that miss out. I think Villa with these next 2 games win both of them. And I think it takes them to 69. So yeah, I think it's between Newcastle, City and Chelsea to fall out, really. I think Forest are done. I think, yeah, they've just lost their steam, haven't they, unfortunately. So, yeah. Enjoy Scandinavia, you are welcome. Oh, mate, I love it. I absolutely love it in Scandinavia. This will be my 4th time. Been to Copenhagen before, been to Gothenburg, been to Stockholm, and now we're going to obviously Copenhagen and Malmo this time. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be absolutely class, and I can't wait for it. At home to binge the Premier League and F1, very nice. Mateta to Delap or Wood. I'd be tempted more with a punt on Delap. Done Mateta to Watkins, thinking Salah to Palmer and for a -4. Can't get Saka in game week 38 without selling Saka. Interesting one. It is an interesting one. Oslo. Yeah, I have looked at Oslo. The problem with Oslo in the UK is when you fly there, you go to the airport that's like an hour and a half away. So I just don't fancy like sitting on a bus for like an hour and a half. I just want to get to the place, if you know what I mean. Missing the Stockholm Derby. Yeah, I know. We've already covered the Stockholm Derby on the channel. I definitely would like to go back though to Stockholm. I'd like to go and see like Hammarby and who's the other team that plays over there? Is it like Drogen? Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I know it begins with a D. But yeah, Malmo, a lot of people have asked me to go back to watch Malmo, so yeah, I definitely want to go do that. Want to go and see a Gothenburg derby as well. I think that could be class. And I really liked it over there. So yeah, it has my heart, let's put it that way. Definitely would like to go and see, obviously, Brøndby versus Copenhagen. That would be class. And then Norway, yeah. I think that could be tasty. IK versus Djurgården? Djurgården? You probably don't pronounce the J, do you? But it's what it is. Like I said, love it. Forest beat West Ham 3-0 easy. Take the train. Takes 10 minutes and you're in the city centre. There we go. Boom. No, this was the one. This was the one. I know what you're talking about, the drain. This wasn't the one with the it's like right at the bottom rather than the one at the top. I know which is the other one is the one I would want to fly to because that is just a like train straight in and you're there. This one was like it's Ryanair. If you live in the UK, you know what Ryanair is. So yeah. We don't pronounce the D. So it's Djurgården. Djurgården, right? Djurgården? Again, my pronunciation in English is probably Gardermoren. Jardamon. Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm absolutely butchering pronunciations here. If anybody's got any phrases to teach me as well, do let me know and I'll pick some up. Look at this. Look at this. Making friends in Norway, Sweden. This is why I love this channel. It is great. It is good fun. By the way, guys, if you want to go and check out the second channel, like I said, if you head to my profile, because I don't think there's a moderator in here, if you go to there and there'll be like, it'll just say like second channel, or there'll be the second channel playlist. Head to that one, click on it, go and check it out. Some really good stuff on there. We've obviously been to Belgium, we've been to Sweden, loved it all. Right, let's get back to answering some of your FPL-based questions. Start Cunha or Isak? I would probably go Cunha. Isak to Watkins or Barnes to Rodgers and play Isak, or take a -4 and get both. I'd be tempted with a -4 to play both. I think that could go very well. Marmoush or Isak out for Watkins? Probably would do the Marmoush out one. Coin toss, Salah or Sarr? Yeah, we can do that for you, bro. We can do that for you. Heads is going to be Salah. Tails is going to be Sarr, alright? Tails. There you go. Start Sarr or Marmoush? I probably would go Sarr. Cunha or Rodgers? I'd probably go Rodgers. Would you do Alanga to Rodgers or Marmoush to another striker like Beto, Vissa or Wood this week? I'd be more tempted to do the Alanga to Rodgers one. Yeah, that's where I'd probably go. Is Beto a good punt? I think with it being the final game at Goodison, it could be a really good decision to go for. You too, mate. Thank you very much for hopping in the stream. Appreciate it, bro. We'll definitely look at Norway at some point. Bench Marmoush, Cliver or Semenyo? Probably Cliver. He's not been very good in recent weeks, has he? Bowen or Sharda for this week? Ooh. Oh, that's a toughie. That is a toughie. I probably would go Bowen. Just because he plays the full 90. Sharda, I know, has been in this purple patch of form. Very good form. But hasn't really been playing the full 90s, has he? He's not been great. Not been great. Do you think Michael Keane will start this week? He's in the predicted lineup, so yeah, he's definitely got that ability to play this week. 100%. 100%. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. Any that you do have ahead of the deadline, do let me know. We are here to try and help you guys out as best as we possibly can. We're trying to hit 13,500 subs, by the way, before the end of the season. We need about 110 people. So, of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you're hitting subscribe. Make sure you are liking the video as well, as it does push it out to more people. And it is massively appreciated, as always, as well. I'm guessing you double defense, right? De Bruyne to Palmer, chasing mini league. Yeah, I probably would maybe go for that route. I think that could be beneficial, to say the least. Yeah, I think that could work. 24 points ahead in my mini league. -4 for Watkins, or just go Wood for a free because mate has on second has him. I'm guessing you mean he's got Watkins. I probably would go for the Watkins move and captain him. I think that covers you probably off from anything that he'll try and do. In my personal opinion. And this is the thing with the Villa players that you're bringing in. They're not just good options for this week. They're good options in game week 38 because they'll still have something to play for. Then you've got to factor in as well that they're going to be playing a Manchester United side post-Europa League final. They could again be on the bevies or again could be very down and gloom because that is their season effectively over and no Champions League for next season, meaning that they're probably not going to get any better players within the squad. So yeah, that is where my heart sits on that one. Ooh, I'm probably more an Ottoman Empire man myself. Yeah, probably more an Ottoman. Oh no, don't cover. Like I wouldn't be looking to like get Wood to cover him off. I don't think I probably would go that one. Yeah, he's probably going to bring in Watkins and captain him. It's probably the... Yeah. Imagine if you accidentally bumped into him in this stream. But yeah, I probably would still go for it. I still would go Watkins. Go Watkins, give him the armband. There's still a good pick for next week as well. So yeah, I'd definitely do that move. Because you think if Forest lose this week, that's it. They're top 4 or top 5 hopes are over. So they're like, yeah, well, that's us in Conference League or Europa, isn't it? Yeah, he probably will just go Marmoush to Watkins. That'll be the move that he'll go for. But yeah, I don't think I would buy Wood. Thank you very much, man. I really appreciate that that positive comment. Means a lot, man. We'll definitely be back next season, pushing even harder, trying to get an even better rank, and obviously help you guys out along the way as well. Do you think Watkins is a must? I think if you're in a decent position rank-wise, yes. Because his effective ownership will be probably one of the closest to 100%. Looking at polls on Twitter and in the poll in the chat as well, his effective ownership, well, his captaincy rate here, 58%. He's probably going to be the most clear captain for a lot of people. And I think with that being the case, that he is the most clear captain, I think that will probably push him close to 100% effective ownership. So like I said, if you're going to go down that route, yeah, that's probably where I'm at with him. I think if you're in a decent rank position, probably is one of those picks that you've just got to have this week. Bowen needs a big 6 move. I mean, I love Bowen. I would love to see him play at a top club. But I think at the same time, I think he's kind of made his bed. He signed a big deal with West Ham, maybe like last season or the season before. So I think that's it. I think no one's probably going to be able to afford to buy him out of that contract. So he's probably maybe just looking at just becoming a West Ham legend. I mean, that's not a bad thing. He'll always get work out of it after when he retires. So yeah. Gvardiol, Munoz, Konza, Williams, Kivior, Rea, Areola, Hootshaw. Should I buy an Everton defender? I wouldn't buy any defenders this week. Just don't think it's worth it. There's very limited upside. I would just play probably Rea, Munoz, Gvardiol, and then one of Williams or Konza. That'd be the way that I go with that one. Matoma versus Spurs in game week 38 could be a decent option. Obviously, Brighton's still hunting down European football themselves as well. What does that even mean? I could go differential captain. If you want to go differential captain, bro, you go for it. And if you need a poo, go for a poo. Konza to Keane and Mateta to Watkins for a -4. No, I won't do that. I think you just need the first bit. I mean the second bit, sorry. You don't need the other bit. Hey, mate. Hello from Perth. Oz, Cunha to Vardy. What do you think? I don't mind it. I genuinely don't mind it. I think that'll be fine. I don't play either EA, FC or PES anymore. But obviously I was a big FIFA fan back in the day. Pro Clubs was my jam in lockdown. So yeah, that'd probably be the way I would lean on that one. I'm starting João Pedro versus Liverpool. Nice. Back in the side. Penalty taker. I don't mind it. Could be a decent option. Do Isak to Watkins or take a hit on a midfielder to fund Mateta to Watkins. I think you could do that one, but if you're fancying a little bit of fun, then yeah, you could go for the -4. Watkins cap boring, bro. Don't even start. I'll head over to your team, see who you've got. Who have you got? Who have you got, captain? I'm interested now. I want to see who you've got. Who have you got? I mean, this is actually Inception, isn't it? I'm watching your stream. You're watching my stream. So basically, it's just going to be coming through your stream what I'm saying now. There you go. There you go. But yeah, Watkins cap ain't boring. Watkins cap is probably the play this week, isn't it, really? Hello, Tom. Greetings, mate. My attackers are fine. Brought in Watkins, capped him. Defence is my headache. Kuta bench, Areola, Rea, Konza, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Gvardiol, Saliba, Munoz. I would probably go Munoz, Gvardiol, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, and then play Rea. There you go. That's the way that I'd probably go with that. Oh, he's got Watkins captain. Look at him. He's got Watkins captain. Oh, he's gone for it. He's gone for it. What a boring man, eh? What a boring man. He's gone for Watkins captain. I'd play Konza ahead of Saliba this week for me personally. Yes, I would do that -4 if you're massively chasing. Start Konza / Bradley. I'd go Konza. Central C versus AJ Tracy. I'd go AJ Tracy on that one. I wouldn't bother about trying to protect your mini league rank. I'd go for the better pick you think. Don't try and copy like someone else. Just go for what you think is the right decision, in my personal opinion. Play it obviously sensible, but yeah, I still probably would. I would actually go for Rea on that one. Defo did, bro. I just copied your team. I just went, I want to go for someone that's doing decent this year, so I'll just copy Tom. That'll be the play. If you are still here, Tom, I'm thinking about maybe taking out Salah. And we might be going for Palmer. We're tempted. We're tempted. Rea or Sanchez in goal. I'd go Sanchez. I really like Chris Eubank, so that would be the way I'd go on that one. Start Burn, Saliba or Murillo. Already have Rea in goal. I'd probably go Murillo. If you had a free hit, what would you look like? Probably would have Bowen and Buemo, Rodgers, Watkins, Visser, Palmer, Vardy. That's probably what I'd look like up front. Defense-wise, probably would be Mikalenko, Munoz, Gavot. Like, I can't really think of anybody better, really. And then in goal, maybe a Martinez. Go for that triple Villa threat. Or maybe Sanchez. Yeah, I don't think it would look too dissimilar from what we're working with right now, to be honest. Who's the best goalkeeper this week? It's probably going to be Pickford, isn't it? Probably is going to be Pickford. Let's take a look at the betting data. It's been a while since we've obviously opened this up. In terms of those projected goal numbers, Rob has confirmed that the Aston Villa ones are going up every single hour at the moment for those projected ones. So when he does put out his updated ones, we will take a look at those. Chelsea obviously fancied as well for goals tonight, which is very interesting to see. Everton really heavily backed as well. In terms of their scorelines, 2.1 is very nice. City as well also fancied with their projected goal numbers. The Liverpool game looks like it could be a goal fest, so that one could also be very, very saucy. And then of course, the rest of the games don't look like there could be many clean sheets. This is why I'm telling you guys not to waste your transfers on defenders. I wouldn't even worry about it. The defensive numbers this season, they're just not quite there, so I wouldn't even bother, like I said, taking a look at it. In my personal opinion, I would just, go with this. I'd just go with this. I think that's the way that I'd play it. What's going off in the chat? Let's have a look. Which is better, taking a hit for Rodgers this week or taking a hit for Evan Nielsen next week? Probably go Rodgers. You get him for both weeks. Both pretty good fixtures as well against Villa and against Tottenham and United. Bench and headache. I've got exactly the same team as you. Midfield and attack, but with Cunha instead of Mateta. Yeah, I probably would bench Cunha then. Who to bring in? Vardy and Bowen or Watkins and Palmer? Probably Watkins and Palmer if you're happy with your rank. If you're really trying to chase, go Vardy and Bowen. Isak to Watkins, yeah, that's the move that I've done. Yeah, I know a lot of people need to take out. We've had a few people obviously saying that they're already triple Villa, which is a difficult position to be in, isn't it? Very difficult position. The reason that I did the move was I saw this and obviously the quotes from Postecoglou. But as you can see here from the betting markets, projected goals for this week, Watkins joint top with 0.79, which is very good to see. 0.59 for Palmer, decent. Salah then, obviously Beto, Vardy, Asensio. Higher joint with Mbeumo and Vissa. So if you can't maybe get to Watkins with one move, maybe Asensio could be that pick that could explode and could be the differential route to go for. Mikalenko for Digne and a -4. No, I don't think I'd go for that. Konza to Keane and Mateta to Watkins up top for a -4. I'm tripled up on Villa. I personally would prefer to go for Mikalenko just because we probably definitely know he's going to play, so I'd go that one. Would you sell Mateta and Marmoush to Vissa and Watkins for a hit? I think I would, you know. I think I would be tempted. I'd just probably maybe go a little bit ballsy on it. Hi, Tom. I brought in Watkins for Cunha and captained him, but now I have a benching headache. Who to bench? Haaland, KDB, Charlotte, Bowen, Rodgers, Wood. Probably be between Wood or Sharda for me. I'm a Spurs fan, so it hurts to take in Watkins. I bet. I do think that is one of the blessings for me, really, is that I don't have to worry about that. Like, I'm not a Premier League fan. I obviously like Brentford as a Premier League team, but I'm not like a fan in any way, if you know what I mean. Like, I just kind of like them. Like, I'm not, you know, not heavily invested, shall we say. Oh, it's honestly such a tricky one with Salah. Do you take that -4 and is it worth it? Like, he could realistically go off big. He could go off big. I really don't know. I don't know whether or not it is going to be worth a -4 for Salah. Yes, that was also one of the factors. So obviously the betting data, the fact that Ange said it, the fact that I knew Watkins was probably going to be the most captain player as well this week, and the fact of that injury thing then, yeah, that definitely swayed me. What team do I support? I support Mansfield Town. The kit, you can see it. It's on like the far wall here, but you can't see it anymore. If I go to the solo cam, you might be able to see it. You can't. It's just past this Dortmund kit here. But yeah, that's the team that I support. We play in League One. Stayed up this season. Very happy about that. So yeah. Who would you start? Kirkez or Burn? I'd probably go Kirkez. Tom, who would you do a -4? Salah, Mateta out for Watkins and Palmer to get them in, or keep Isak? Honestly, it's such a difficult one, isn't it? Liverpool do look on the beach. Salah's been rubbish since game week 30. I am very tempted myself as well. But would I do it for a -4? I don't think I would. Nothing in terms of team news. We probably won't get that till a little bit later. We ran through the predicted lineups earlier, so if you want to go and check out FPL Meerkat stream, Twitter, sorry, they are on there if you want to go and check them out. Sell rare for Pickford for a -4. What is the point? The goalkeepers have literally zero upside if you do that. The max a goalkeeper scores is between 6 and 7. Like, it's very rare they get above that. Maybe if they have a great game and make plenty of saves. But against Ipswich, he's probably not going to save the ball too much anyway. So your max outcome there is you're getting 2 points up. If he doesn't keep a clean sheet, which is a very real possibility, there's a higher probability that they concede than they keep a clean sheet this week. So you would just lose money. Team reviews will be at 3 o'clock, mate. That's when we'll be doing team reviews. Yeah, I hope so. Obviously, it didn't really work out for us. He came in January last season and never really had a big impact. Was never going to be good enough for League One, was Nichols. So, yeah, always going to get released. Yeah, I guess so. I guess you make a good point there, Abby. Who would you bench out of Munoz, Williams, and Wan-Bissaka? I would probably be tempted to bench either Williams or Wan-Bissaka. I don't do IDs. I just do teams if you send them me on Twitter. I don't do IDs, unfortunately. What are the main things in terms of news? Alexander Isak is going to play the remaining games, but is going to have surgery in the summer. Postecoglou has said that Spurs are going to be rotating quite heavily for this game on Friday. And that's about it, really. Unless there's something I'm potentially missing as well. Liverpool have been soaking the life up on the beach this week. That's about it, really. I'm honestly in the same position as you. I've gone with Raya for now. It could be a coin toss and we definitely change our minds. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that one. Do 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 do. Do keep your questions coming in. Any that you do have ahead of the deadline, do let me know, and we'll try and answer as many as we possibly can. Bum 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 bum. Bum bum bum. Now shake it up, baby. Now shake it up, baby. Twist and shout. Twist and shout. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, baby. Now. You know you look so good. Look so good. Ooh. Wasn't there some stuff about Haaland and Marmoush? I have not seen that, if that is the case. Let's have a look on Twitter, see what we can find. Oh, I'm glad about a one-use surgery going well. That is good. Let's have a look through Fantasy Football Scouts news updates. Leif Davis returns from suspension. Liverpool obviously back after enjoying themselves in the sun. Late call on Kai Havertz. O'Brien is fit again, having missed out last weekend with a minor issue. Tarkowski is out. We know that one anyway. Ruud van Nistelrooy, don't really matter. João Pedro's back in. Kieran Trippier and Joe Linton are unavailable. So yeah, there you go. That's what we've got for you at the moment. Salah and Marmoush to Palmer and Watkins for a -4. I've made a deal with my friend on the mini league. He's also taken a -4. Fair enough. Fair enough. Very courteous of him. 8 Nuri on Mikulenkovic. I'd probably actually go 8 Nuri on that one. Do keep your questions coming in. Of course, guys, make sure you are liking today's stream as well. Massively appreciated as always. We're trying to get to 100 likes on today's stream. We're currently sat at 73. So if you are enjoying it, make sure you are spamming that like button as it does, like I said, push it out to more people. And that is exactly what we want to see with today's stream. Goat of UK rap. Probably Dave, isn't it, really? It's probably going to be Dave. I'm trying to think who else. I'm more into my US rap than my UK rap. But yeah, probably Dave, isn't it? Beto or Ndai, who is the better pick? I mean, Beto's probably the one. Bowen captain. I've said this in a few streams, and obviously the reason that I probably wouldn't go with Bowen, is he just doesn't get the double-digit hauls, does he? Just doesn't get them. Skepta's a valid shout. Yeah, Skepta is a very, very valid shout. But yeah, more into Drake, Travis Scott, people like that, then GOAT of rap in general. Oh, that's a big one. I mean, Eminem's got to be a shout, hasn't he, right? Like, Eminem has to be within there. I mean, people like say like, oh, Drake can't be in there, but if you look how many like bangers he's had, like, definitely has to be in there. 100%, 100% got to be in there. Obviously, Biggie as well. Am I buying Cole Palmer? I'm debating it, whether or not we switch out Salah and bring in Cole Palmer. I am debating it. Might be one for the coin, to be honest. I never really liked Tupac. I don't know why. Never, apart from obviously like the California song, love that. But the rest just didn't do it for me. Camera, do you want to focus back in on my face, please? Obviously, the camera was a Tupac fan, and didn't like that comment either. I would start Saw ahead of Mateta. Mateta's just really gone off, hasn't he, as an option? I actually need to do my coin flip for this week. Whether or not to I think I'm going to captain Watkins, but we're going to do it anyway. Heads is going to be Watkins. Tails is going to be Mbeumo, okay? It landed on Tails, which is Brian Mbeumo, but I'm still going to lean and I'm going to ignore the coin on that one because I think I'm pretty settled on Watkins as a cap. We're going to go Areola Tails, Raya Heads, all right? Raya Heads, it lands on it, it stays with it. Now the big question is, do we take that -4? Heads is yes, tails is no. Tails, no. So we're not doing it. We're leaving everything as is. The coin has spoken. We're trusting it. Can you do a coin flip for me? Palmer or Watkins cap? Yes. Heads is going to be Watkins. Tails is going to be Palmer, all right? Tails, Palmer. There you go. Wore a coin to, honestly, the coin, the holy coin has made this channel massive. We'll definitely be getting a coin for next season as well. Maybe we get him a little like case or a little stand so he's always in shot or something like that. I don't know. There might be something as well, Game Week 38, related to the coin. So do keep your eyes peeled for that one. I'd captain Mbeumo for the pens. Very valid shout, isn't it? I do like captaining a pen taker. I just think I probably am going to go with Watkins, though. I think that's probably going to be the route that I'm going to go with. Start one of Milenkovic, Munoz. If you've already got Sells, then probably go Munoz. And I probably would either go... I'd probably go Cunha, because Isak's got Everton on the final day. I probably would bench Milenkovic. I don't mind those moves for a -4. I think that's pretty steady. Probably would look at it. Vardy, Delap. Probably going to be your striker picks. Those will probably be the ones. Get Potter for a -4. Table bonus, yeah, that could be a juicer. That could definitely pay off. Hey Tom, what do you think about bringing back the assistant manager next season? I mean, it worked out for me. It hasn't worked out for other managers, so I definitely think there needs to be a lot more communication around it. I don't think it should eat up transfers either, and I don't think it should come out of your budget. I think that kind of, like, a chip should have nothing to do with budget or transfers, in my personal opinion. Go for it. Go for it, mate. If you want to risk it going with Villa defence, why not? Have a little bit of fun. The defensive numbers from the betting markets aren't bad, so it could work out. I probably prefer just the Isak and Sarr one. I don't think there's any... The -4 one doesn't scream to me, to be honest. Bench one of Visser, Rogers, Wood or Bowen. Probably would be looking at Wood in my personal opinion there. Start Kivior or Nico Williams. Probably would maybe take a dabble on Nico Williams. I'm doing Isak to Beto and Barnes to Palmer for Palmer cap. Nice. I think that could be worth the -4 if you're going to do the Palmer cap. I think that is probably the play that I would say. If you are going to captain... If you are going to take a -4 and captain Palmer, then it probably is going to be worth the minus, isn't it? Definitely so. Of course, if you are enjoying today's stream, make sure you are liking it. We're trying to hit 100 likes on today's stream, and it would be massively appreciated if we could, of course, do that. So, like I said, make sure you are hitting that like button. I would actually probably prefer to play Martinez ahead of Raya this week. Probably would just start Saar. Start Sells or Raya, have Nico Williams. Probably go Raya then. We'll be doing team reviews at 3. So if you want to get them sent to me on my Twitter at FPLTom_, leave it under one of my most recent tweets. So if you load up my Twitter, you see this. You click the big follow button that will be here. And then leave it either under this one or this one here. And you'll find it. Very easy. Whew. What should I do with my front three? Mateta, Marmoush, Isak, 1 mil in the bank. I mean, I probably would maybe look to upgrade 7.6. Can't quite get to Marmoush to do thingy, so probably would be taking out Isak. It depends how many transfers you've got as well, but you could do Isak to Watkins and Marmoush to like a Vardy maybe. Saar to Asensio. I don't mind that. He's very high up in the projected goals, so I don't mind the move for Asensio this week. I don't mind the people that have got that in the locker if they wanted to go for it. Yep, I can do a coin flip for you for Marmoush or Saar. Heads is going to be Marmoush. Tails is going to be Saar, alright? Heads, Marmoush. There you go. Yeah, I don't know how it would work. I don't know how it would work. I think my big thing for chips and the big problem they've got is the fact that you can only use it once. Now, if you played EFL Fantasy this year, you know that there's only one chip in the game. It's called like the Max Captain, which basically it's a really good chip that I definitely think they should introduce in this game. And basically, whichever player on your starting 11 gets the highest points gets the armband. So I think that could be a good chip to bring in if they wanted to go down that route. But the beautiful thing I like about it is it regenerates after Christmas. So you get 2 lots of it. And I think that should be the case with this game. You get 2 wildcards. So why can't we have 2 bench boosts? Why can't we have 2 triple captains? Why can't we have 2 free hits? Obviously, they reset at the game week 19-20 period, like the wild card. But I think it makes that first part of the game really interesting. Because then you're not thinking, well, this is a good week. I've got a player that's got a great fixture, or my bench is looking really good, but I'm going to save it for doubles further down the line. Maybe we're not going to get doubles. Everyone thought we would get more doubles this season. The doubles have been very, very disappointing. So I think that is probably the way that FPL combat it next season is either bring in that max captain chip, because I like it, or give you 2 lots of every chip that reset around Christmas, just after Christmas. I think that is the play to make this game a lot more interesting, because what do most high quality managers do? Genuinely, what do most high quality managers do? They just save it. They just save all the chips to the back end of the season where the double game weeks are. But what if the first part of the season, now we've not got to worry about that. We can have some fun. We can make different strategies. That way, the game becomes completely diversified and you don't have a template, in my opinion, because I genuinely think that is the way to play the game, because it completely changes it. It completely changes the narratives. It completely changes everything, and I like it like that. And I think that's probably the way that it should go. It seems like my idea is not too popular. Yeah, of course it would. It would heavily impact the game that everyone plays the game. Like, I save all my chips till the end of the season. But I don't like that. I think it's boring. It just makes people turn off. And realistically, FPL needs to bring in more and more players. It just will. You can say there's a template, but if you've got 2 lots of chips, it adds extra incentive to change it up a little bit. It really, really does. Because you're thinking, maybe I go this game week or maybe I go that game week with my strategy. I just genuinely think it just changes the whole strategy up a little bit. That's my personal take on it anyway. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are. That's probably how I would do it if there were to be any changes next season. Have 2 lots of every chip within the game. I think that is the play for me personally. Right, team reviews are in 11 minutes, so make sure you're getting them sent in. If you haven't already as well, make sure you're hitting that like button on today's stream. Make sure you're hitting subscribe as well if you are new to the channel. Massively appreciated as always. 56% of you are going for Watkins cap. 22% are other. I think a lot of those others are going to be Brian and Buemo. 11% Palmer, 11% Salah as well. I would prefer to go for Cunha ahead of Wood this week. I probably would. Exactly. I pretty much down to that first wild card, everyone plays it wherever their team really needs it, rather than like a set template. Whereas this year, everyone's just with the second one gone, game week 30, I'm going to play my wild card. Game week 31, I'll play my wild card. There's been set weeks where everyone knows to play it. Like, I played my wild card, my first one, in game week 6 because my team needed it desperately. So that's the thing. Like, I think it completely changes how a lot of people play the game if you add more and stuff like that in. How come Cunha? I think just with the Palace thing, if they win that FA Cup, they could be on the piss. A little bit hungover, probably not in the right frame of mind. Coin flip for Liver or Kivior. And the winner of the coin... Jesus, how many coin flips do you want? Just play Konza. Just play Konza. I'm not doing like 8 scenarios of a coin flip. I'll be here all day. I guess, or you dead end your team with a strong bench boost and wildcard out of it. It just makes people think. Who are your 2 Newcastle players? If one of them's Trippier, you might be in a little bit of a sticky situation. Hello, Tom. Pick 2 between... Pick 2. Bench 1, Salah, Visser, Isak. I probably would prefer to go for Salah and Visser and bench Isak this week. I mean, they're all... I would be tempted with maybe just going for a -4 there. Those Savinho, Mateta and Marmoush, all criminals. Hi, mate. Would you start Marmoush or Sarr? Probably Sarr. Sorry, bro. No, you're good, man. If you want Konza versus the other 2, I can do that for you, and then you can pick, all right? So heads is going to be Konza. Tails is going to be the other 2, and I'll let you decide who you want to go for on that one. It's Tails. There you go. I think Battle will start, yes. Would you go for Asensio over Watkins this week? So I keep Isak and do Sarr to Asensio. I don't mind it. Isak definitely could deliver this week, but I still probably would want Watkins. Oh, you're fine then. You're fine, yeah. I'd go for the bench boost. Enjoy it. Might get to game week 38 and teams may be rotating a little bit, so could be harder. I don't mind Neto as a punt. I think that could be a little bit of a fun one. I'm not sure about the Trossard bit. Not for me anyway. Do keep your questions coming in. Any that you do have, let me know. I probably would do that. Yeah, I probably would do that. Buy Watkins and bench Sarr. Yeah, I think that's a fair play. We've just hit 13,400 subscribers, by the way. We need 99 to hit 3.5 before the end of the season. Obviously, we've got game week 38, and that is it. There'll be a stream next week, and that is pretty much it, just to try and hit this goal. So I don't think it's going to happen, but you never know. We'll keep trying. We'll keep plugging away. Triple captains, Watkins, or wait till game week 38 and captain someone there. There's always some massive final day results. Let me see if I can find. Let me just quickly put you on here. Let me just see if I can quickly find like an every Premier League final day results. Will this show me? This ain't gonna show me, is it? Oh, I think it is. Okay, if I go 2023. Yes, I found a way to do it. Cool. There we go. Let me bring this up for you guys then. So, here's last season's ones. As you can see, Crystal Palace absolutely battered Aston Villa on the final day. A 4-2 for Wolves, a 3-0 for Spurs. Plenty of goals kicking off, a 4-2 for Newcastle as well. Oh, I've just lost that page that I was on. Wunderbar. Let's go to the season before. Final day of the season, a 5-0. That's back-to-back 5-0s. A Liverpool 4-4 in there as well against Southampton. I've just realised you can see about half of this. 4-1 for Spurs on the final day. So there's usually some mega results kicking about. 2021-22, Arsenal-Everton. Spurs again with a 5-0. A 5-goal thriller at the Etihad. 3-1, a 4-1. Lots of goals again on the final day. 2021, a 5-0. Like, there's always a 5-0 on the final day. 4-2, a 3-0. Again, lots of goals kicking about in games. 2019-20. Bet on someone to score 5-0. My goodness gracious me, there's a 5-0 every single season. There's a 5-0. 3-1, 3-2. Again, goals. Oh, we didn't quite get the 5. We got a 4. We got a 4-1, a 5-3, a 4-1, and a 3-1. Mental. Another 4-0 job. A 5-4 on the final day. This is what I mean. The final day is absolutely mental. Absolutely mental. So if you're looking for picks on the final day, -4s could be worth it because Jesus, look, a 5-1, 5-0, 7-1. And look at some of these scores we're getting every single year. The final day is just chaos, it seems. 15-16, again, we've got a 5-1, 4-0, 4-1. Like, it's just ridiculous, isn't it? Obviously, I'm going back some years now, but as you can see, I remember that game, that 6-1. I remember that. 5-1 here as well, 3-1, 4-1. Like, goals just flying, it seems, on the final day. That's probably the most normal year we've had. And it's taken me to get to 2013, 2014, where there's not like a 5-0 demolish job in here. There's still a 3-0. But yeah, this is the first year where there's not been a big one. 2012, oh my days, 5-all, 4-2. Yeah, like 1 out of what? The past 12 seasons has had like a mental final day scoreline. So yeah. Tom, great content. I've only started watching it last week. Oh, thank you, man. Welcome to the channel. Obviously, we'll be back next season as well, kicking even further on, hopefully. Bringing the channel up, hopefully hit 20k next season. That would be great. Start Barnes or Eze or... I would go Eze and I'd go Areola. I think looking at those scores, maybe Arteta. Like, Arsenal could absolutely smash it out of the park, couldn't they? So, yeah, I'd probably go Arteta. Haaland and Sarr to Palmer and Watkins for a -4. I don't hate it. I really, really don't hate that. I think that could be a decent set of moves. Should I sell Sarr or Marmoush? I only have one free Trent. I already have Watkins. Depends who you want to bring in then. You could just leave them both. You genuinely could just leave them both. Thoughts on a -4 for Savinho to El Canusi, or rather Neto or Enzo? I would rather have Neto or Enzo, in my personal opinion. That is the way that I'd lean on that one. But yeah, those final day scores are ridiculous. Like I said, I'd definitely be looking at them. I mean, if you want to go for it, mate, go for it. Saves you going for that hit, like you said, in the final week. So go for it. Why not? Enjoy it. Sarr to Neto or Murphy to Neto? Ooh, I probably would prefer going Murphy to Neto, in my personal opinion. Yeah, that's probably the way that I go on that one. Right, guys, we've got 90 likes on today's stream, but there's 146 of you sat in here. So there's some that haven't liked it. Make sure you're liking it. Push it to 100 likes, and it would be massively appreciated, as always. Afternoon, Tom. I hope you're well. New to the channel, Salah, Bowen, KDB, and Mbeumo, Rogers, Cunha, Watkins, and Visser. Bench 1. I would be tempted to either bench Cunha, De Bruyne, or it might even be a mad one here, Salah. Yeah, those would probably be the ones that I would be looking at. My personal opinion, probably bench Cunha. I mean, that sounds like a decent plan to me, Ross. Go for it. I think I would go for that. What do you think about Marmoush and Sarr's minutes? Probably going to be dicey post FA Cup, aren't they? Start Isak or Rogers. Probably would go Rogers. When our team reviews, it's not quite 3 o'clock yet. We've got 1 minute. We're very, very close. So it's going to happen any second now. Should I use the triple captain on Watkins or hold on to the final? I think looking at some of those scores, I'd be tempted to hold it onto the final. And maybe a fat captain on Saka could be the play. Play Marmoush, a bad idea. I have other issues. Yeah, why not? Go for it. Who to bench? Bowen, Isak, or Rogers? Good question. I would probably bench Isak out of those. Nico Williams or Konza to start? I probably would go Konza. Right, let's head on over to Twitter then. Let's see the teams that have been sent to me. Thank you for everybody that has sent their teams over. Of course, if you do want your team sent to me for me to review, go head to one of my most recent tweets, leave it under there, and I'll take a look. Obviously, drop me a follow on Twitter as well, and I'll be able to pick those up as always. Abby Johnson says, "Hi Tom, which option do you prefer? Option 1, roll transfer. Isak to Evan Nielsen and Lange to Saka in 38. I don't mind that. Isak to Watkins would have 1.9 million in the bank. Good steady amount. Option 3, Mateta to Watkins and bench Isak. I'd probably go option 3, you know. But it would then require you to probably take out Salah maybe in game week 38 if that was the case. I like 1 and 3 are my preferred options for this week. I'm leaning more towards 3. That's my personal opinion on it. Do you agree with the benching decisions? Yes. Yes, I do. Hi, mate. I've got Watkins in. Thinking of a -4. Murphy to Bowen. Your thoughts? I mean, you could just play Wood, realistically. You could just play Wood ahead of Murphy. If you didn't want to take that -4. I don't think Wood's a bad player to have in there. But, yeah, that -4, I don't mind it. But I guess, though, you would get Bowen for Ipswich on the final day, which could be a taster. Current plan is Saar to Saka and Evan Nielsen next week, but Watkins FOMO is killing me. Watkins this week and Saar and Visser. Watkins and what? Current plan is Saar to Saka and Evan Nielsen next week, but Watkins FOMO is killing me. Watkins this week and Saar and Visser out next week for a -4. I'd be tempted to maybe get Watkins in this week. It keeps you safe, doesn't it? And then, of course, you can then decide if that -4 is going to be worth it next week. Like, we might get a lot of injuries this week or something might change, so I would maybe just do the Watkins one this week. He's still a good player to have next week as well. Hi, Fran, this is my team. I think you've put this on the wrong one, mate. Fran's not going to review your team. I'll review it anyway. With 2 free transfers in the bank and 1.7 million, what transfer should I do to reach 500k? It's 50 points away, but I have a bench boost as well. Robinson's a little bit of a doubt for the game, so maybe not bench boost till next week. With your 2 free transfers in hand, I definitely would be looking at Watkins. And I'd be tempted to bring in Palmer instead of De Bruyne. I would. I did Marmoush to Watkins. Might do Saar to Rodgers for a -4. The Holy Coin has spoken earlier. Trust in the coin, sir. Trust in the coin. 1 free transfer. Major problems with Marmoush, Savinho, Mateta. Thinking about either back 4 with Munoz or 2. Yeah, I mean, Mateta would definitely be one of the priority transfers. Mateta to Vardy, then you can go game week 38. I think that might be the route. Either that or a -4, Mateta to Vardy, Marmoush to Watkins, and then look at the Bowen one for next week. What do you think of this? First in my mini league, 5 points off me. What should I do? Get away from Neto captain, put it on Watkins, because that's probably what he'll do. And I would start Bowen ahead of Isak. Boom, done. There you go. Simple as that. Simple as that. Do keep questions coming in, guys. We'll obviously be live for about another hour before all the big boys go live. We're 3 likes away from 100 likes on today's stream as well. So, of course, if you do enjoy it, make sure you are hitting that what's the button? The like button. There you go. Hit the like button, as it is appreciated as always. Yeah, I guess that is the problem with Vardy, isn't he? He is just a singular game week punt. He's not going to be a multi-game week punt, is he, unfortunately? I don't mind the 2 defenders in there. Maybe Isak, maybe you switch him out. I'm going with Watkins cap to stay safe with numbers. But yeah, you definitely could go Brian Mbeumo as a pick. He could be a really decent shout. Thank you for helping the stream get to over 100 likes, guys. Massively appreciate that one, lads. Love it. Wonderful stuff. Thank you very, very much. Yep, you can send me a team on Twitter. Send it on Twitter and we'll take a look at it. Asensio and Isak to Watkins and KDB worth the -4. Not in my opinion. Would you put Asensio in for Saar? Yes, I would be tempted. Yeah, I probably would do that, mate. I think that is the right move. I think that is genuinely the right move to play heading into these final few weeks. Enzo and Watkins in for a -4. Who are you taking them out for? Who are you taking them out for? I'm 5 points away from my mini league rival. He has Konza, Martinez, and Asensio. Should I do Isak to Watkins? And also, should I take a hit to bring in Asensio or Rodgers? I don't think I'd do the hit bit, but I'd do probably the Isak to Watkins bit. Which team is the best to target over the next two? Definitely Villa. They're playing Tottenham and United. They've got obviously their focus on the Europa League. So yeah, that's where I probably would be focusing all my efforts towards. Should I start Evan Nilsson or Cunha? I'd go Cunha. I get that. I do get that, but I'm guessing you could probably do the minus next week. But that's just my advice. I think if you prefer Watkins and Saka, then go for it. Cool, man. We'll go and take a look in a little bit at some more teams. We'll get some more built up. Taking out Rodgers and Marmoush. I wouldn't take out Rodgers, no. Beto's alright. He's not bad. Final game at Goodison. Could be some goals in there. Rodgers, Asensio are probably going to be other high ceiling picks from Aston Villa. I mean, if you've got Isak, then yeah, start Areola ahead of them. Subit slide to Rodgers and bench Bowen. Benching Bowen, though. I don't think I'd do that. I'd play Bowen. I'd get Bowen in there. Start two, Raya and Martinez, Saliba, Munoz. I would go Martinez and Munoz. There you go. Yeah, I do prefer that, what you just said there, mate. Marmoush to Watkins, got one free. Seems like a pretty sensible one. If you've got the money in the bank and the free transfers there, go for it. O'Brien is back fit. We don't know whether or not he's going to play, though. I don't remember seeing him in the predicted lineups. So, yeah. I genuinely wouldn't worry about defender transfers this week. If you've got someone that plays, it's probably going to be good enough. Is honestly my initial thought. The betting data doesn't have many clean sheets for this week. So, yeah, that's the way that I'd swing on that one. That is the way that I'd swing on that one, baby. Any news on Matteson? I didn't see him in the predicted lineup from Charlie. Maybe I'm wrong on that one, but yeah, I can't remember seeing his name. Raya or Sells? Probably would go Raya. Yes. Yes, I do, mate. Yes, I do. Who to bench out of Rodgers, Bowen, and Buemo, KDB, Salah, Visser, Watkins, Isak? Probably Isak out of all of those. Best FPL channel. Thanks, bro. I appreciate that. I took a -4 last week and the week before, so I prefer not taking any more. I mean, if they're working and you're getting green arrows, what's the issue? Like, it's just one of those, isn't it? Saka, Watkins for Cunha, KDB, or do one transfer, but which? I prefer to bring in Watkins this week ahead of Saka. Saka's more one for next week, I think. Probably Marmoush. Yeah, I think I probably would bring in Watkins, then go Saka next week. I think that's probably going to be my plan as well. O'Brien, Mikalenkovic, 8 Nuri, make a sub. Probably don't play Mikalenkovic. I think it's a different week, isn't it? Obviously, as we get like certain weeks have like more people wanting to play, certain weeks people need certain answers. I think this week probably a lot of people's decisions have been kind of the same and quite self-explanatory. But obviously, we'll pick up next season with the likes and stuff. But over 100 for today's one, pretty decent. We're not complaining too much. Yeah, Isak's in the predicted lineup. Fair enough. If you think Munoz is going to be benched, that's fine. Take it on. Dun, 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 dun. Looks like we've had a few more teams sent in, so let me go and check on those. Right, which ones have we not done? I think we did this one. Yeah, we did that one. Got one free transfer. I've seen Trossard is back in. Nuno against West Ham could be an interesting one. But you know who could be even more interesting? If you went Graham Potter there. So I do think it is probably Isak to Watkins. And then maybe Graham Potter. I think I'd do that. Isak Watkins, Graham Potter as one big move. Yes, please. Sign me up. You get that chance of table bonus that could very easily wipe that -4 out. Oh, mate, it's difficult, that. It is difficult, that. What would you recommend? I mean, if you want to have him and you want to captain him, I think it could be worth the -4. So, yeah, maybe take Konza out, put like Mikalenko in. Play him ahead of Williams. Gives you Southampton at home. And then, obviously, you can just do probably Marmoush or Isak to Watkins then. You're all good. Kind of a benching dilemma. Ooh, yeah. I would play KDB ahead of Gibbs White in my opinion. Yeah, I probably would go KDB ahead of Gibbs White. Bum 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 bum. So take your time. Dun 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 dun. Is Golden wrapped up for today? I can't see his stream online and he's WhatsApping me. Is he done? Does anybody know if Tom's done for today? I think he is, isn't he? Oh no, he's still live. He's still live. He's still kicking. He's still kicking about. Boom, 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 bum, 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 bum. Sorry there, guys. I was just sorting some stuff out with thumbnails for this week, for the next video. Isak or Marmoush for Watkins. I would prefer to go Marmoush out. I definitely think he's definitely a player I would really want to bring in Watkins this week for me personally. I do think he's going to be a very popular asset that people are going to be looking at. Tweeted my team. Thanks a lot for the help. No worries. We'll go and take a look at that in a second. Currently going for Mateta to Watkins, but got a benching dilemma of Saar or Murphy. Who would you get for a -4? Get Bowen in for one of them. Mateta Watkins, but got a benching dilemma of Saar or Murphy. I don't think I'd get a -4 for Bowen. No, not in my personal opinion. Captain Visser, thoughts maybe Watkins is a trap. Maybe Watkins is a trap. Could be. But I don't think I'd captain Visser. I'd rather have Brian and Buemo as the captain instead. He might sneak on. I'd maybe be tempted to play just Konza. Yeah, I'd be maybe tempted just to play Konza. That's probably the way I'd go with that one. Bench one of Asensio, Watkins, Visser, Marmoush, Alanga, Salah, and Buemo, KDB. Probably Marmoush is the easiest captain out of that lot. Who to take out for Watkins? Martinez, Rogers, or Konza? I mean, you could probably go for Martinez to Pickford. That'd be not a bad transfer for this week. I would prefer to sell Marmoush for Watkins if I could. He'd be the one that I'd ideally rather sell for Watkins. Yeah, roll it for the bench boost week and then you can build a pretty decent lineup for that week, can't you then? That might be the way to go. When did you activate your assistant manager? Because if you activated it in 38, 37, 36, if you activate it in 36, you're actually not going to be able to play your bench boost. So yeah, that's a problem. Thank you for tweeting the team, guys. We'll go and check that out. It seems like a few of you have sent them over to me, so we'll take a look. Yeah, we've got a few here. Already did the Watkins move. Planning to do Isak and Saar to Evan Nielsen and Palmer for a -4. I don't mind that, you know. I don't mind that. Go for it, because then you get Evan Nielsen for next week as well, who's going to be a popular asset, isn't he? Go for it. Here's my team. Any suggestions? Not 100% convinced on the Haaland captain, but each their own. Rest of the team, though, looks really good. 1.3 million in the bank. One transfer. Any suggestions using the bench boost in game week 38? No Bowen in here is a little like one of those what I think could be a decent pickup. Obviously, they've got Ipswich for the bench boost next week. But maybe I would be just tempted to roll. You could do Marmoush to Vardy, then Vardy to Evan Nielsen. Or you could bring in Evan Nielsen for Marmoush this week, then have Alanga, then you've got your 1 free transfer next week. Or you could just roll and maybe play Alanga ahead of Marmoush. Don't mind that -4, you know, Jess. I don't mind it. I would be tempted more with Semenyo, you know. Yeah, don't mind that as a -4 either. That could work. Madueke, Neto, or Vardy. Which order? Vardy, Neto, Madueke. There's your order to pick them in my opinion, anyway. Obviously, you can pick whoever you want. I'm not going to force you to pick anyone that you don't want to bring into your team. Nobody's forcing you. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. Any that you do have prior to the deadline, do let me know. Exactly. I think that sets you in a good position, Jessica. Captain Salah or Mbuemo. I have assistant manager Frank and Visser. So thinking Salah. I guess, yeah, you're quite heavily invested in the Brentford one, but if obviously Brentford win and Mbeumo's involved in that, you're going to be happy, aren't you? Vardy captain or go for Salah and Mbeumo? I would prefer Mbeumo over it. I think Vardy gets taken off at some point in the game for a clap off the fans, and I reckon he probably gets a yellow card for his celebrations at some point. The holy coin is forcing me. Oh dear. Pickford for Martinez. Yeah, we did that one. I own KDB. I want to go -4 for Palmer. What do you say? Don't mind it. If you're going to captain him as well, I definitely don't mind it. Start 2, Visser, Bowen, KDB. Visser and Bowen probably be the ones ahead of KDB with that FA Cup fixture. Yeah, that's probably the way I'd sit on that one. Oh, my legs today. Ouch. My legs are a bit achy today. I don't know what I've done to them. Let's have a look on Twitter, see if we've got any sort of team news or anything like that flowing in at the moment. There you go. David Moyes confirms Jake O'Brien is fit and available to play against Southampton on Sunday. There you go. Who to captain if no Watkins out of Mbeumo and Salah? I would go Mbeumo. He was the other one that I was thinking about anyway. So Brian Mbeumo probably would be the one that I would consider for this game week personally. For me, KDB to Rodgers and captain him if you want to go down that route. But yeah, not screaming to me. Not screaming to me personally. Neto for a hit. Could do. Start 8 Nuri or Munoz. Munoz. Yeah, I'd go Munoz on that one. Would you take a hit if 11 points behind the mini-leaguer? Depends who you're bringing in for that hit. What the transfers are. What you're thinking. Oh, God. Tired. Obviously, with my coin flips, we asked it if we should take out Salah for Palmer. It said no. It said we should play Raya. But it did also say that we should captain Brian Mbeumo ahead of Watkins. Which is tempting. It is tempting. It is Brian. He could do very, very good. Go for whoever you want then. I'm just giving you my advice. Like, you don't have to listen to it. Would you prefer Raya and Saliba over Konza and Areola? No. I'd rather play Konza and Areola this week. I really, really would. What are my thoughts on captaining KDB? Wouldn't go near it. They've got a game beforehand. He might play a full 120 minutes. Then maybe comes off the bench for a rogue few minutes. So yeah, wouldn't go near that one. I play Raya ahead of that one. Yeah, it's good. I mean, you've done that move. I think that's a perfectly fine move to do. So, yeah, I think you're in a good position. I think you'll be fine. Saka's only scored 6 Premier League goals this season. So, there's one reason not to go with him. Arsenal as well, I think it's very easy just to double up on him. You know who the danger man's going to be. So, yeah. There's my reasonings why. 11 behind the leader, Asensio for Sarr or Salah to Palmer. If you're going to captain Palmer, then go for that one. You could very easily go for both as well if you're still going to captain Palmer. But if you're not going to captain Palmer, probably will be more tempted with the Asensio one. I would still probably lean more towards Raya ahead of Areola. A lot of people have got Raya. So if Arsenal do keep a clean sheet, could be quite detrimental in terms of rank. Yeah, there's just a simple reason like that. I just don't think he's that guy at the moment. Oh, hopefully so, man. Thank you very much for the positive feedback as well. Hopefully we can get you that win as well. That is the aim of this channel, really, is to help people do well, obviously, with their ranks, but mainly to help people win their mini-leagues as well. Go for it. Go for it. Pickford for Martinez and Marmoush out for Watkins and a -4 on Captain Watkins. I'm guessing you have to do that because you already own too many Villa players. Yeah, I don't mind that. I don't mind that as a move. I played Sarr ahead of Doku for me personally. Yeah, I played Doku. I played Sarr ahead of Doku, sorry. What are the odds of Neto playing as the number 9? I've seen it in one of the predicted lineups. Let me just check FOTMob, see what that's saying. But yeah, I have seen Neto potentially playing as the number 9 tonight. He's in the FOTMob one as well, so that could be an interesting shout for people that are maybe looking for a transfer ahead of Sarr. Is go maybe Neto. O'Brien apparently is fit and available to ready to go. That's what David Moyes has said. So you could potentially keep him. Wood or Rodgers? I'd prefer to have Rodgers this week. Play Livramento or Kivior. Have Raya in goal instead of Areola. Yes. Yeah, go for that route. Go for that route. We'll probably do like 15 more minutes, guys. We've been live for like 2 hours. So yeah, we'll do 15 more minutes. And then we'll call it a day there. So do keep your questions coming in. Keep your team reviews coming in and all that good stuff. I would go Rodgers, Bowen, Wood in that order. I would go Rodgers, Eze because of the form, and then Isak last on that one there. Sell Mateta or Marmoush to get Watkins. Yes, I would do that. Neto for Murphy. Yeah, I definitely think if I had like a Jacob Murphy this week, I'd be very, very tempted with Neto. If he's going to play as the number 9, that could be a gold mine. I do think Munoz is going to start, yes. We're just going to play with him anyway. If he doesn't start, we've got Konza probably coming off the bench. So, yeah, I think we'll be fine. I think we'll be fine. I'd bench Isak ahead of both Bowen and Rodgers, in my opinion. I would, honestly, I think both are easy sells, really. Probably prefer to sell Mateta ahead of Watkins. Mateta for Watkins, sorry. Bam, bam, bam. Keep your questions coming in. Any that you do have before the deadline, guys, do let me know which way you're leaning on your decisions for captain and stuff like that. Obviously, the poll has got Watkins captain, 56%. Very, very nice to see. We'll get another poll going. Let's do another poll. Right, there we go. I've asked you in the chat. Let me know which way you lean on this one. Would you do a -4 Salah to Palmer? Yes, no, unsure. Get your votes in for that one. Let me know which way you're swinging on that one, guys. I'm interested to see what a lot of you would think for that. No's kind of flew out the blocks already. Fave Drake song. It is Amen. Is my favourite Drake song. Absolutely love that song. It gives me... I don't know. I just really like it. And then obviously, like, I do want a Benz at some point in my life, and I want to play that song in it. So yeah, if you haven't listened to that song already, go and check it out. Amen by Drake is a classic. Murphy out, Neto in this week, or save Murphy for game week 38 against Everton. Happy with my other set. I think I would go for it. -4 KDB to Palmer. Is it worth it, Tom? I think if you're going to captain Palmer, yes. Otherwise, no. Bench one of Luis Diaz or Cunha. I've seen Luis Diaz is apparently not in the predicted lineup, so I'd probably be tempted to bench him. Savinho to Rodgers or Sharda. I think both are great moves. Probably would lean more towards Rodgers this week. I think he could have the bigger impact. Of course, if you're miles back, want some fun, Sharda could be the pick. Fave Strokes song. I don't think maybe I've accidentally listened to the Strokes, but not like intentionally gone out my way. Favorite Travis album. Good question. Let me bring up his is it discography? Is that what it's called? I can't remember. I like Utopia. Utopia. There's some good ones on that. Birds in the Trap sing. They're good. Astro World. I think it probably is going to be Astro World. There's so many good songs on it, isn't there? Yeah, we're still doing team reviews. We're going to be live for another 10 minutes. So, of course, get them in ASAP and we'll take a look at those as well. But, yeah, any other questions you want to ask me as well about life in general, I'm happy to answer as well. As you've kind of had like a music-y kind of theme today, haven't we? And I like that. Getting Watkins, sell Isak or Cunha. Probably would sell Isak. Yeah, I don't mind that. Yeah, Cucurella or maybe Martinez for Pickford could be the shout as well. Best 5.5 million defenders below. Probably looking at an Everton defender for this week, really, aren't you? But yeah, it's kind of hard to judge, isn't it? I genuinely have said this. I probably wouldn't be looking at any defenders. Maybe Cucurella also fits into that bracket, but I just don't think they're worth it. How are you doing, Tom? I'm doing good. Would you take a hit for Murphy for Sharda on a bench boost? Yes. Yeah, I would. Sharda, or we've been speaking about Neto as well, who potentially could be playing up front tonight. Thoughts on K-Dot? I haven't really listened, so I can't really comment. Raya, Konza, Munoz, Gvardiol, Alanga, and Buemo, Salah, Asensio, Watkins, Vissa, KDB. This is my team. Did Isak to Watkins? Yep, all good, mate. All good on that team. Looking decent. Looking decent. No worries, bro. No worries. I sent you my team on X. Cool. We'll go and take a look at those, bro. Adam sent his team. He says, made transfers. Thoughts, not sure on captain. I mean, if you're in a decent position in terms of rank, Adam, then I definitely probably would just stick with Watkins. If you're unsure, I probably would maybe lead at Brian, and Buemo could be a big differential shout for this week. Some interesting picks in here, though. I like it. It's a little bit different to what we've seen from other people. Thank you for sending your team, man. Appreciate it. Right, let's have a look what's kicking off in the chat. Okay, Tom, follow up your question. Neto in or just start Isak with it? I think I probably would maybe take that gamble on Neto. Yeah, go for it. Any thoughts on Enzo? Probably going to be playing a little bit deeper. I think that probably makes Neto the better pick, in my opinion. Bench Saw or Isak? Probably would bench Saw, just because the unsurety around FA Cup. What do you think the score will be in the Chelsea United game later? I'm going to go for 2-1 Chelsea. 2-1 Chelsea. There you go. Wood against West Ham, like, they have been pretty terrible. I just think Wood's ceiling at the moment is a little bit low. I would say, like, you know, Brian Mbeumo is going to be a differential captain this week. So if you're fancying it, go for it. Go for it. Boom, boom, boom. Do keep your questions coming in. Any that you do have, obviously I'll be finishing up in a few minutes. So get those questions in before, obviously, I do finish up today. There won't be a transfer targets video out for Game Week 38 as I'm in Copenhagen. So make sure you're following this second channel as we'll be posting a new video on there ASAP. And I'm looking forward to it. Vardy or Beto? Ooh. Vardy is probably the one I do prefer. Isak to Watkins or Salah to Palmer? Watkins. Cunha to Watkins? Yeah. No worries, mate. Anytime. Anytime. Bang, bam, bam. Just got Drake songs stuck in my head now. Is you fucking crazy? Yeah. Is you fucking crazy? Yeah. I have Isak, Wood and Visser in my attack and 3 Aston Villa players. Is it worth making a -4? If you're going to captain him, then yes. Isak to Watkins, already done that with my team, so I think that's worth it. Bench 1 out of Konza Munoz and Aaron Wan-Bissaka, probably AWB. I'm top 3k. Should I protect my rank, bring in Watkins and captain him, or bring him in and captain Mbeumo? If you've got a vibe towards Mbeumo, go for it fully. I still think Watkins will maybe be close to 100%. But yeah, I still think you could probably get away with it if you wanted to go for it. Because I still think Watkins will maybe be like 95. So you're still going to probably hold on to rank because you're not going to lose any rank from him. And obviously if Brian pops off, could be a big boy for you. If you fancy Brian more than Watkins, then go for it, mate. Isak to Watkins for a -4. Again, if you're going to captain him, yes. Otherwise, no. I've got Isak and Cunha. Should I replace Watkins with? Probably Isak. Yep. I think there's going to be a heavily rotated Spurs side. It just is. Spurs have been terrible as well in recent weeks. They've been absolutely god-awful. So I'm not worried in the slightest about them. Not worried in the slightest about them. Bung, bung. Sometimes. Ben, you can send your team to me anytime you want, mate. Send it across. We'll have a look. Yep, send it over, mate. Let's go for it. Passion Fruit versus 5am in Toronto. Personal fave. To be fair, bit of a classic, but yeah. I mean, Passion Fruit's just one of those tunes that as soon as it comes on, it's just an iconic like bass line, isn't it? And just like. Yeah, send it over, mate. We'll take a look for you. We'll get it sorted if you're going to bench boost this week. Let's have a look. Our inbox is dry. Who'd start Eze, Visser, Rogers? Oh, probably Visser and Rogers ahead of Eze with that FA Cup game. Just being a little bit fragile. Cheers, mate. I'll take a look at your team now, Ben. Martinez, Pope, Gavardio, Munoz, Saliba, Livramento, Kirkes, Salah, Cliver, Rogers, Sarr, Trossard, captain. Okie dokie. Mateta, Watkins, Marmouche. Okay. Free transfers. You still got the bench boost, right? You've still got the bench roost. Yeah, no worries, mate. Still got the bench boost. Okay. What would I do? So you've already got Watkins. That's not an issue. Free transfers is a lot, though. That is a lot of playroom. I still think I'd be maybe tempted. Would you not be tempted to maybe play the bench boost next week? I just want to have a look at the fixtures, who you've got very quickly for next week. You can cancel it, by the way. But I'm just thinking you'd have Bournemouth against Leicester, so you'd have Kirkes, Cliver against Leicester. Newcastle have got a better fixture. Arsenal have got Southampton. Palace have got Liverpool, which isn't ideal. City have got Fulham, which makes perfect sense. All your defenders got pretty nice fixtures there. Martinez has got a good fixture. Newcastle, again, probably aren't going to score. I think I'd be tempted to bench boost next week, you know. Salah's got Palace. Cliver, obviously, we spoke about. Rogers, a good fixture. Sarr has that one. Trossard, if you want to keep him, would have Southampton. So I think you'd need just a forward. So for this week, I probably would go Gavardio, Munoz, Saliba as my back three. Salah, Rogers, Trossard, and then maybe make a striker replacement. You've got free transfers. You could have a little bit of fun with it. You could go Visser. You've got some money in the bank as well. You could go Mateta to Vardy, right? Mateta to Vardy, Sarr to Mbuemo, and leave it. Take 2 into next week, and then I think you've got a really saucy bench. Probably then could go Salah to Mbuemo. That could be the play there. That could be tasty. I just think looking at those fixtures, though, that bench boost is going to look a whole lot better with Bournemouth playing Leicester, in my opinion. Yeah, I think I'd take Mateta and Sarr out this week. Bring in Vardy, bring in Mbuemo. I think that could be a bit of fun. Marmouche you could probably just bench, right? So you'd have Gavardio, Munoz, Saliba, Salah, Rogers, Mbuemo, Trossard. And then Marmouche as well. Who else could you go for? Maybe take a punt on Beto. You could have the ultimate, like, punty front three, really, couldn't you? You could genuinely have the ultimate punt front three of Vardy, Mateta. Vardy, Mateta, and Beto could be your front three. You could go for it. Or you could go Sharda. Sharda for Sarr. Mateta for Visser. Vardy for Marmouche. Or Beto for Marmouche. That could be that's probably where my head's at with ideas, I think. So yeah, that's probably where I would be at. Watkins, Visser, Vardy, again, very strong front three. I like all of those. That'd be a good front three. Camera, please focus back in. Yep, I think that could be a great front three. I like that. I do like that. Right, I think we're going to finish up today's stream. We've been live for like nearly 2.5 hours. My voice, it's on the edge. Of course, Ben, if you've got any more issues, drop me a DM and we'll try and help you out, mate. But yeah, my voice is starting to go a little bit, starting to get a bit raspy. I'm going to finish up. We're going to let the big boys go and do their thing. I'll post my team a little bit later on X as well. If I do maybe make that -4. But yeah, I think the bench boost is the one for next week. But I think it'd be fun. Fun little punt on Vardy for the final week. Go for it. Right, I'm going to finish up. Let's, like I said, we'll see you tomorrow for the... No, I won't see you tomorrow. I won't see you tomorrow. There's no stream tomorrow, is there? This is the deadline stream. Right, as you can tell, my head is just absolutely gone after 2 hours streaming. But yeah, thank you for everybody that's watched today's stream. Of course, if you haven't already, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button, like button, all that good stuff. And yeah, I will see you very shortly for Game Week 38. Make sure you're here for the deadline next week. We've got something very interesting and big planned.